I wanted to ask, obviously we're on a pretty tight deadline with the CF-18s. I'm wondering, obviously, we've got a lot of work, a lot of preparatory work to do in terms of infrastructure, in terms of setting up sustainment and all this kind of stuff. What will the government be doing to make sure that all of this moves ahead of schedule? And can you speak to kind of this tight time frame that you have to make sure that the F-35s arrive in time for the retirement of the CF-18s? How important is that timeline?
Minister, you're on mute.
My apologies. I want to start, Lee, by setting out the timeline, because I think it's very important and fairly specific in terms of information that we are providing. So the timeline for delivery is the first 4 aircraft in 2026, the next 6 aircraft in 2027, and the next 6 after that in 2028, for the full fleet to arrive in time for the full phase out of the CF-18s by the end of 2023. And what we are doing in the interim while these fighter jets are arriving is to ensure that we have an upgraded CF-18 fleet also under the Hornet Extension Project. The Hornet Extension Project is going to be introducing new weapons. It's going to ensure that we don't have gaps in our capabilities as we ensure that we are living up to our obligations under NATO and NORAD. But the key point to mention is we have confidence in the supplier to be delivering these aircraft. We have seen no issues in the supply chain and in our negotiations with them. And as a result, we are fairly confident that they will be arriving on schedule.
Thank you. And as a follow-up, you mentioned the Hornet Extension Project. That's over $1 billion. I think it's 1.3 billion. That's obviously one of the costs of the delay in the initial plan to purchase the CF-8 or the F-35 that was announced in 2010. There have been others as well, such as gaps and things like that. What can you say? What can you tell Canadians has been a benefit of the last 12 years of delays and constant talk about fighter jets and the F-35 that has essentially led us to the same point, that the same decision that was made in 2010?
Let me just say, Lee, that at the heart of the decision that we are discussing today is the fact that it resulted from a process that Canadians can have confidence in. It was a fair and open and competitive process run out of PSPC. And as a result of that robust process, we are able to make the announcement about the purchase of the 88 F-35s. The aircraft has also evolved and matured. 8 countries have declared an initial operational capability. And I want to reiterate that in addition to ensuring that our country will be protected and our obligations to NORAD and NATO will be maintained, we are also ensuring that economic benefits from this procurement will flow to the Canadian economy. And in particular, this procurement has the potential to contribute over $425 million annually to GDP and close to 3,300 jobs annually for Canadian industry and supply chain partners over a 25-year period. So I am confident after this open and fair competitive process that the benefits to our country in terms of national security, as well as the benefits to our country in terms of economic security, are going to persist and are present. We can only have economic prosperity if we ensure national security. And that is what our government is doing with this announcement today. Thank you.